Hi guys, welcome back, and we are back with a new series that is Q1FY26. I mean Q4 का result का analysis करते करते Q1FY26 भी आ गया. I think always the gap between Q4 and Q1 is very less because usually like Q4 का अगर आप result season if you see it starts at April 15th, but all these companies have to do this balance sheet and cash flows for the end of the year. Usually the result season is for 1 month, right? Like it should end by May 15th, but you will see there are some companies like they give out result until May 30th, June 5th, June 6th, and I think this time the result season even went on till June 10th also, right? So that is the thing. And July June 10th ko Q4 all khatam hota hai, and July once already updates starts coming right now, right? You can see that. So that is the thing. This Q4 and Q1 ka beech ka jo time rehta hai, that is very very less, I would say. But anyways, from now we will start the Q1 FY26 ka video that is there. ठीक है, we will start the new series. As the update comes for various companies, I will start talking about it. So in today's video we will talk about the value fashion space, that is in the retail space. We'll talk about V2 retail, Bazaar style retail and V-Mart limited. Trend का update अभी तक नहीं आया. When it comes, I believe all of you guys, I think you've been here for a very long period of time. You will be able to once trend का numbers comes out, you will be able to, I believe very strongly, you will be able to detect that what to look for, and you'll be able to position itself in the race out of the 4 players, right? If you haven't yet figured out how to do this, how to rank the players, what are the metrics you need to look for and everything, get the investment checklist workshop. I'm going to put that link below. Okay. Now anyways, let's start with this value fashion ka retail space. Now we had seen in the last quarter, that is in the Q4 of FY25, we saw that which was that company, V2 retail was leading the space, right? And not just that, Q4 was dhamakedar. Okay, one, and if you look at the entire fashion ka apparel space, we see that what Q3 is the best season because in Q3 you have a lot of festivities. But this time we saw that Q4 also was a very strong quarter, right? Very very good set of numbers from everybody across the space. The reason was, if you look at it in Q4, agar aap dekhte ho, in Q4 mein we had Eid. Usually when you look at Eid happens in the month of April or May, which is Q1 ka months. In the year 2025 we had Eid in the month of March, which is Q4 ka months. Okay, so that is the reason you see Q4 was a very very strong number. And that is why when you compare, usually when you see Q4 over Q1 looks much better. But this time when you compare on a Q4 over Q1, you see that it's you might see certain aberration, but please understand this is because of this seasonality that has happened due to the preponement, or the festival that is Eid. Okay, now anyways, coming back to the numbers that are there, let's talk about the 3 players, 3 different categories. Okay, you have V2 retail, Bazaar style retail and V-Mart limited. The first category that we're going to do comparison is the sales growth. Okay, sales growth agar aap dekhte ho, V2 retail ka 55%, Bazaar style retail ka 37% and V-Mart retail ka was around 13%. ठीक है, 13%. ठीक है, so as you can see, who's leading just by looking at the sales growth, who is leading the race? 55, 37, 13, 55% V2 retail. Then we have the second category. Okay, what is the second category of comparison we will do? We will do the SSG ka comparison. Now see, SSG also again over here, please remember that SSG, if you would have seen for the last quarter, that is Q4 ka quarter, if you see, SSG was for all these companies were like 30-20%, right? High double digit. SSG was high because of Eid. Okay, because 24 May, in the year of 24 Eid was in April, right? And in the year of 25 Eid was in March. Okay, so as a result SSG looked higher Q4 over Q4. In Q1 क्या हुआ? Q1 of last year में Eid था, Q1 of this year Eid नहीं था. So when you compare that SSG on a year on year basis, you might see like अरे SSG सिर्फ इतना ही है, what is this, टट्टी लगेगा आपको. But please remember this, it is only and only because of that one time event where Eid has been pushed forward over here. ठीक है, so if you talk about SSG, again V2 retail, Bazaar style retail, V-Mart. ठीक है, 3 companies. If you talk about SSG is around, V2 retail is 5%, Bazaar style retail का -3% and V-Mart ka 1%. Now why Bazaar style retail is -3%? As you know, V-Mart and V2 retail has pan-India presence, whereas Bazaar style retail, uska majority of the revenue comes from that West Bengal ka market. Okay, and West Bengal is one of their core markets actually. Almost 70-75% of the revenue comes from Calcutta, or not Calcutta, West Bengal. And as you know, West Bengal mein abhi, the Muslim population is increasing and everything. So that is why, the impact in SSG is much more for V2, sorry, for whom? For Bazaar style retail compared to the other players. ठीक है. So again, in terms of SSG comparison, if you see who's winning, 5 minus 3 1. Again, V2 retail is winning. The third category we will see is the store addition that is there. V2 retail ka, as you know, this year the guidance to add was 100 stores they have to add in this year. Already in Q1 they've added 28 stores. Whereas if you talk about Bazaar style retail, they had to add 50 stores in a year. They've added 22. When you talk about V-Mart has added around 30, 15 stores, I believe they've added. 15 stores they've added. Now again, who's winning? Who's adding, more number of stores over here? 28, 22, 10. Who's adding more number of stores? V2 retail is adding. Okay. Another thing, a lot of people also were talking about, V2 retail ka base is lesser compared to, Bazaar style retail ka. But, V2 retail is doing such a massive store expansion, right? Because last time also they added many stores. इस बार भी 100 stores add कर रहा है. Right now the store count, if after Q1 is 216. Okay, think about it. And Bazaar style retail ka store count is 232. Now you can no longer play that card कि like अरे V2 retail ka base was small. That is why it was growing faster. Because I believe in the middle of this year, when you talk about the store expansion or base आप देख सकते हो, I believe with the amount of expansion V2 retail is doing, V2 retail ka base will be bigger than that of Bazaar style ka retail. But having said that, do you see, right, all the three metrics, in spite of high base of last year, in spite of base is getting bigger and bigger, V2 retail is still winning the race across all the metrics that is there. Okay, V2 retail, Bazaar style retail, as well as V-Mart. Now here is the thing, right? Now when you compare all these three that are there, right, all the three companies that are there, obviously V2 retail is winning the race. Now another thing I see, there is a little bit of I would say, I do not know if it is wrong interpretation or how to call it. When you see Bazaar style retail ka, again people are telling ki like pace of growth kam ho chuka hai, because they see like 55% tha in the last quarter and now it is 37%. You cannot compare it QOQ, ठीक है? Because in QOQ there is seasonality always, because Q2 is a monsoon season, Q3 is a best season. So when you compare Q2 with Q3, you will feel like pace of growth has increased. Whereas when you compare Q3 with Q4, you will be like pace of growth cut gaya. Do not do this QOQ comparison, okay? Because seasonality you have to take it into factor. As long as a company doesn't have seasonality, it is okay. And here this बार seasonality कैसे आया? Because of that ईद का, that festivity का issue जो है, ठीक है? So that's that for this video. आप देख सकते हो clearly V2 retail है, now is a winner. Now if you see that trend का numbers आता है, because Trent used to never give update. I think in the last quarter, from the last quarter they started giving out updates. If the update comes in a couple of days, you will see, right, like right now we have V2 retail in the first place, second place we have Bazaar style retail, and in the third place we have V-Mart. Now you will be able to come, you will be able to like see, if Trent ka numbers come, will it replace V2 retail and be the first position because it has to grow faster than V2 retail, which is more than 50%, or will it grow faster than Bazaar style retail, 37%, and will it replace Bazaar style retail in the second position, or will it be will it replace V-Mart, which I think, if you ask me, I think it should come either in the second or third position. Probably it should be in that range. Okay, so that's that about today's video about V2 retail, Bazaar style retail, and V-Mart. I hope we have a very fantastic Q1 ka quarter. I hope all the companies start to do well, and yeah, let's hope that this quarter, this season, unlike the last quarter, I mean when I tell last quarter, I refer to the Q1 of FY25. I hope there is no abrasions, I hope there are no problems, I hope this quarter is smooth like butter. That's all I can say. Okay, that's that, guys. Have a great day. Bye.